Before you even speak your best idea out loud, your brain has, like, probably already tried to kill it. Welcome to our deep dive. Today we're exploring author Naveen Sinha's writings on meta-intelligence.
Yeah, and if you're new to the term, meta-intelligence is basically, well, the study of how we think about, observe, and, optimize our own cognitive processes.
Exactly. And our mission today is to figure out how ideas actually form and why we might be accidentally crushing our best aha moments. So, okay, let's unpack this.
Right, because Sinha previously argued that ideas, they don't just start out as fully formed sentences, do they?
No, not at all. They begin as these pre-verbal seeds that have to survive this invisible funnel of our biases, past conditioning, and fears.
Yeah, that conditioning is heavy. So when an idea sounds bad, we're usually just judging its clunky first draft, not the original spark itself.
Right. Which brings us to today's focus. If ideas start as these delicate, wordless seeds, how do we actually coax them into reality?
Well, Sinha points to a very specific psychological feedback loop. When you take a raw concept and force it into words, the act of expression fundamentally alters your perception of it.
Wait, so just by saying it out loud, I change it?
Exactly. You observe your own articulation, whether you're hearing it or writing it down, and that observation immediately feeds back into your brain.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it shifts how you'll frame it the next time. You interact with the thought just by expressing it.
That actually reminds me of a developing Polaroid picture. Like you snap the photo, wait 5 seconds, and you just see this blurry gray blob.
Right, totally.
And if you throw it in the trash right then, because it's, out of focus, you completely miss the final beautiful image that was actively trying to develop.
That is a perfect analogy. Judging the final value of the picture based on its earliest, most incomplete state just guarantees premature rejection.
Yeah, you just toss it out.
Exactly. The alternative is patient iteration, just allowing that feedback loop to continuously refine the expression until it finally matches the original seed.
Okay, that sounds great in theory, but I have to push back a little here. I mean, in a fast-paced environment, say a corporate meeting, nobody has the luxury to just sit around waiting for a blurry mental Polaroid to develop.
Yeah, that's the common argument. We need answers immediately.
Right, we can't just pause the clock. Why are we so quick to throw away the mental Polaroid?
Well, what's fascinating here is that this exact urge for immediate certainty is what kills thousands of potentially brilliant ideas.
Because we just want the answer right now.
Exactly. We despise the discomfort of not knowing. But look at how Michael Faraday operated.
Oh, the magnet guy.
Yeah, the mad guy. When he was studying magnets, he kept sprinkling iron filings around them, just watching these distinct patterns form. And he had absolutely no idea what they meant.
He was just observing.
Right. Instead of forcing an instant, half-baked conclusion just to escape the discomfort of not knowing, he kept sketching the patterns over and over. He allowed himself to stay in an open loop.
An open loop. So a state of actively seeking but accepting he didn't have the answer yet.
Precisely. And by resisting the urge to close the loop prematurely, those evolving sketches eventually led him to discover electromagnetic lines of force.
Wow. A massive scientific breakthrough born entirely from, just having patience.
Yeah, just sitting with the unknown.
So if you're listening to this and you're staring at a blank page or stuck in a brainstorming session, how do you actually stop forcing conclusions?
Well, you have to access what Sinha calls the generative layer of the mind.
Okay, and how do we get into that layer? How do we think like Faraday?
It's a threefold process. Step one is preparing the ground mechanically. When you intensely focus your attention and engage deeply with a problem, you are neurologically priming your brain.
Like setting the trap before the mouse runs by.
Exactly. You're getting into a receptive state to catch those early preverbal seeds. Then comes the hardest part, step two.
Which is?
Receiving what emerges without distortion. When that blurry idea surfaces, our instinct is to instantly categorize it, right?
Yeah, or just judge if it's useful immediately.
Right, but to stay in the open loop, you have to consciously suspend that judgment. Let it exist as a blurry Polaroid.
Okay, and step three.
Iteration. That non-judgmental space gives you the raw material to actually iterate on without tossing it out.
You know, it's funny, Sinha uses the phrase, the giant walks in small steps. And I think about how often we try something, maybe twice, and then boldly claim, well, I've tried everything.
Oh, we do it all the time, yeah.
I mean, it really comes down to the difference between constricting an idea by rushing and the expansion of the generative layer. Just giving ideas space and time to find their true voice.
That's exactly it. Great answers require, the patience to sit with the unformed and unclear. If you demand instant genius, you will totally miss the giant.
So true. Well, before we wrap up, I want to leave you with a provocative thought.
Mhm.
We've talked a lot about our own brains rushing to conclusions, but how is technology changing this dynamic?
Oh, that's a really good point.
Right. Think about an idea you immediately dismissed today just because it didn't sound right when you first said it out loud. Now add AI and search engines giving us instant answers the very second we ask a question.
We're basically outsourcing our cognitive patience.
Exactly. If we never have to sit in the discomfort of an open loop anymore, are we actively destroying our capacity for those massive Faraday-level breakthroughs?
It's definitely something to mull over.
It really is. I mean, what if your bad idea wasn't bad at all and just needed a few more loops to develop? Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, and remember, keep your loops open.